Morning, all. All right, so it is the day after Labor Day, meaning that this is the first day where people are going to be like, hey, so hockey. So summer's officially kind of over now, so hockey, right? And I know if summer goes on till September 22nd, but nah, nah. The weather here is telling me that summer's done too. It's really cooled off. We're starting to get some rain. So all the discussion, of course, is where Kane and Kessel are going to go right now because they're the biggest high-profile free agents. So really, you see a lot of reports of where they might go, but I don't think there's any solid information at this point on where they're actually going to go. So when there's speculation out there, you have to look at which teams have cap space. So you go to Cap Friendly. I've put all the teams with $2.5 million or more in cap space on the board, starting with Philadelphia. Well, Philadelphia is in a rebuild. I can't see either of them going there necessarily because both of them at this point would be looking for a chance to win. Arizona, much the same thing there. San Jose, same thing there. Columbus, Columbus made some improvements on the defense. They may very well be of the mind that they can push towards a playoff spot this year. Is it likely? Probably not, and they probably wouldn't be a favorite in the chase for Kane or Kessel unless there weren't a lot of suitors. Detroit, this is why Detroit's going to get mentioned because Detroit has the cap space. They kind of need to show some improvement this year, and they could use the help up front too. So Kane could be a really solid addition. Kessel, if he's playing fourth line, if he's a healthy scratch here and there, I think he can still help. Nashville to me is kind of a 50-50 thing on whether or not the players would necessarily want to go there. Because we know Nashville is probably going to be below the playoff line this year when you look at the changes in their lineup throughout the offseason and the fact they narrowly missed the playoffs this past season as well. Buffalo is going to be the sexy pick, and so I'm wearing a Buffalo jersey because, yeah, it would make some sense. I see people saying, no, don't have him anywhere near Buffalo. But at this point in time in Kane's career, he's not going to be coming in to take over. He's not going to be coming in to be a second line or first line player. He's likely going to be third line. He's going to have the leadership, and he's got all that experience. That experience is important. So Buffalo would be my pick because the two teams below them who have the most cap space are Chicago and Anaheim. Well, Chicago's got Bedard, and I'm sure Kane would love to play with Bedard, but I don't see him going back to Chicago, and Anaheim still in the midst of a rebuild as well. And of course, with Anaheim, they still have to sign Zegras and Drysdale. So, but they'll still have at least $2.5 million in cap space, I would think, left over because the rumored contract for Zegras is in the $5 million range, and it's probably going to be a bridge deal. So, again, this is why people would speculate and go, well, it could be Buffalo, right? Because they have the cap space and because the expectations this year have risen for them. So that's where that's at. That's why I don't get into all the rumors and speculation because to me it's kind of easy to look at it and go, well, that's where he could end up. So Cheryl Pounder, this was announced a few days ago, I do believe, is taking over as a color commentator on NHL 24 from Ray Ferraro. I like this. I like it anytime that the NHL games make a change because very often you'll buy the game, one year after another. Last year I broke that cycle. It's the first time I haven't had an NHL video game since 2003. I want to say it's 2003 was the last time I did not buy an NHL game. And so, yeah, it's been a long time. And it really is just, they add new jerseys, of course, for the year. So you get that and you get kind of, so it's like they update some of the, they slap a new coat of paint on it, right? And the commentary will often stay almost exactly the same, which feels kind of lazy. And I'm not saying that because I think there's anything bad with the developers. I don't put anything on the developers. Coming up with a brand new game every single year is kind of crazy once you know how much work goes into it. So yes, you're largely going to get the same game one year after another. And of course, they're still willing to charge you $80. They'll let you pay $80 for the new game, or 90, or soon it'll be 100. And that's nice of them. And you get a game that's basically the same as the year before. It's just got new stats and, they'll make a change to one of the sections of the game, but very often it's online play. So I really don't play because I like to play the offline modes. I don't really like playing online. I just found it more irritating than anything else. And so, yeah, changing up commentators is nice because it means the entire commentary has to change. And anytime that they announce big changes in gameplay, I like that too. Although once you've got it where it's realistic gameplay, how much more realistic can you get? And I think that's kind of where some video game series are now. How much more realistic can a soccer game, a football game, like we know how the sports look, and once we get to the point where we're like, hey, that looks like a real game, there you go. I've been a proponent for a long time that I think sports franchises like NHL and Madden should be run sort of like GTA, where you have your core game and then you just have like add-ons, and you can play all these add-ons that come out. And it's not like Rockstar Games isn't making good money, right? So at any rate, there you go. I'll jump off my soapbox. There you go. And yeah, I'm glad Cheryl Pounder's in there, because it does get kind of tiresome, the commentary, when you've heard that same commentary over and over and over. So that's why I'm always surprised the channel does well and people keep coming back every day, because it's just my face and my voice. Anyways, that being said, getting into some signing news. Anton Khudobin, age 37, has signed in the VHL. So that is one tier below the KHL. Again, at age 37, odds are his career in the NHL is done. I do need to do a career video on Anton Khudobin, because it's an interesting career. He would flicker between backup and then AHL level goaltender, back up again, and then he was a hero in the 2020 playoffs, and then it kind of faded after that. But I do wish Khudobin all the best. The 2020 playoff run was it was a lot of fun to watch, and I mean, those playoffs were pretty unpredictable overall, and yeah, it was nice to see Khudobin take the team on a bit of a run. Yeah, it's too bad Dallas didn't win the cup, I say as a Dallas fan, but it was a lot of fun to watch Anton Khudobin on a run that turned out to be the last run for him. So the NHLPA Rookie Showcase is today. That is at MedStar Capitals Iceplex in Arlington, Virginia. I believe that's the Capitals practice facility. And so this Rookie Showcase has 35 rookies, a lot of high-profile rookies. And Upper Deck is making cards to mark the occasion, so they use this occasion to take your photos and your videos. Connor Bedard's probably going to have writer's cramp from all the autographs he's going to be doing today, or at least over a couple of days here with this. But I always get a kick out of, during this offseason, I've noticed whenever somebody's met with Bedard or talked to Bedard, they're like, wow, he's really in shape, and he's really, like, and I mean other players, he's really in shape, and he's really strong, and he's got, like, you know, they're talking about his forearms today, and how he looks like Popeye with his forearms. He is an excellent prospect. He has got, you know, basically the sky's the limit for Bedard. There's a reason people are excited about this player. So I get a kick out of seeing that, because since Bedard is on the smaller side for an NHL star forward, he's going to have to be in better shape. He's going to have to be stronger. He's going to have to be a little bit faster than he would have to be if he was 5 inches taller. And so, yeah, players are just finding out what all the excitement is about. And I think it's great. And I can't wait to start seeing that from fans once we get to the preseason as well. Once he scores that first preseason goal for Chicago, I expect people to be completely reasonable about it, and not start hearing about, you know, this is going to be a Stanley Cup winner for sure, which he may very well be. He absolutely could be. So if you want to check out the NHLPA Rookie Showcase, it's today. If you don't have a chance because you're not going to be near Arlington, Virginia, most of the rookie tournaments are taking place next week as we get ready for training camp. So for the rookies, there really hasn't been a lot of time off this summer, like for your high-profile players, and really for prospects in general. Taking the summer to go hang out at the beach would be a terrible idea. So they've been working all summer. There is no off-season, generally for most players now. Because, yeah, there was a time, I am old enough to remember the time when players would actually just take the off-season, hang out on the beach, you know, film for Young and the Restless and go on SNL. I think that was just Gretzky. But anyways, yeah. It'll be great to see the players on the ice in the coming week, and then training camp opening up a little bit after that. Of course, on the weekend as well, the news of the passing of Brad Maxwell was out there, so my condolences to friends and family of Brad Maxwell. He was a star defenseman for the Minnesota North Stars the year that they went to that Stanley Cup final in 1981, and I was a big fan of Brad Maxwell then. He did end up playing for a little while with the Vancouver Canucks. I will be doing a career video on Brad Maxwell over the next month. I will say in a month's time, because usually when a player's passed, I give it about a month, and then I'll do a career video. His career wasn't that long, but it was an interesting career, and so it definitely warrants a look. And the odd part is I was going to do a career video on Brad Maxwell earlier in the summer, and then I pivoted and talked about a different player instead. And so, yeah, now I'll pivot back and talk about Maxwell, but that'll be in about a month. So, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support, and I will talk to you again soon.